Alright guys, so we are experiencing technical difficulties with our cell phone battery. We forgot to charge it last night, man, so we're going to end up having to make like 3 videos on this, but we should only had to make 2 at the most. So anyhow, we got the turkey going and the ham going. We'll show you some temps right quick. Alright, this here is the remote for the Masterbuilt meat probe 41. See that? 41. Alright, so the meat probe inside the unit there, that is actually going to our ham. So right now internal temperature on our ham is 41 degrees. So we got a long ways to go on that ham. We're gonna, again, like I told you earlier, we're gonna go to 130 degrees. We're gonna pull it at 130. We'll go ahead and make our glaze, put our glaze on it, and then we're gonna put it back in to 140. Now you can also, if you wanted to, you could cheat. You could actually do your ham in your smoker to 130 degrees. Make your honey glazing for it, and then put it in the stove or the oven, excuse me, for 30 minutes or so, and finish it off. And that's we may end up doing it that way just to save some time. As for our turkey, let's see where we're at on that. Alright, so number 4 there, that is 53 degrees, 54 degrees. That is going to be the breast. Number 1 right there, sitting at 69 degrees. That's in the thigh. So we got a ways to go on that as well. So guys, we're just gonna keep on doing what we're doing. Sitting here by the fire, trying to stay warm on this Christmas Eve morning. So just sit tight, and we'll be back in a little bit. Alright guys, so we're about an hour into this cook now, and what we just did is we just went ahead and added another little tray full of wood chips to our smoker to keep that smoke flavor in there. Now what we're going to do on this wood chips is we're not going to use these the whole way through the smoke. We're only going to put these in about 1 time an hour for maybe 2 times, 3 times at the most, just depending on how much smoke flavor you want in your turkey. I typically, with the electric smoker on a turkey, I'm not going to put it in more than twice. And and if I was using hickory, I wouldn't do it more. Definitely wouldn't do it more than twice. For most cases with hickory, I wouldn't do it more than once, because again, hickory and mesquite are very, very strong woods. If I was doing ribs or a Boston butt, I may start with hickory first, but then I'm going straight to apple or pecan or peach or cherry or something else other than that to have a different note. I want to have different flavors in my meat. So we just went ahead, and what we just did is we concocted, basically a handful of pecan, a handful of maple, and a handful of peach. So we started off by, when we first started an hour ago, we started off by putting just a little bit of pecan in there just to get some smoke in there before we put our turkey in. We're, like I said, an hour in now. We went ahead and just added another scoopful. So here in an hour, we're going to add it one more time, and that's going to be all we're going to do for the smoke. At that point there, we're strictly depending on the heat to finish cooking the ham and cooking the turkey. But we don't want to over smoke this stuff. That's a big mistake that you see a lot of people do, especially whenever you're at the barbecue competitions. Is they'll keep throwing that wood and throwing that wood and throwing that wood on their meat, and it smells great whenever you walk by their pits and everything else. But when you get to that end product and everything, and you bite into that barbecue, and it's so bitter you can't swallow it. So there's a perfect balance there between good smoked meat and over smoked meat. So you just got to find that balance, you know. And for everybody it's different. But like I said, I mean, we've done enough ribs and Boston butts and turkeys now and everything that we pretty much got it down to a science. This is our first ham that we've ever smoked, so I'm interested to see how this is going to turn out and everything else. But I like to give some shout outs too. You know, I like old T Roy and Kirby Q and Ray Mack and TNT Barbecue. You know, that guy right there, man. He's always posting videos, man. He's a great guy. I'd like to meet him one day. So TNT, if you can hear me, man, keep doing what you're doing, man. All right, guys. Well, stay with us. We'll be back. Guys, I forgot to mention earlier too, with that ham, we're cooking that ham inside of the pan, and we're strictly doing that just because what we wanted to do is, you know, we've got some apple cider vinegar in the bottom of our water pan there in the smoker right now to keep everything moist and everything from drying out. But we also went ahead and left that that mango orange juice marinade that we made in the bottom of that pan, so we actually have that ham that's going to be cooking in that juice, so that should really pick up that flavor on that ham as well. Let's go over and check temps right quick, see where we're at. Okay, we're going to start by checking our temperature on that ham. We're at 46 degrees on that ham right now. Alright, we're going to go over here to the turkey thigh. Turkey thigh is at 86 right now. And the breast is sitting at 66, 65. So we got a ways to go still and everything else, but guys, just stick with us. Alright guys, we're checking back in right quick. Lots of smoke coming out of the smoker. So much smoke in there right now you can't even hardly see in there. Let's check some temps. 52 on the center of the ham. 78, 79 in the breast of the turkey. 99 degrees in the thigh.